Well, I'm starting back on the Galaxie again today, so I'm working on the door more. I cut some more rust out. I'll show you what I did. And I've also loosened up the door. I just loosened up these bolts here to adjust the door. It seems to fit better. I mean, I got it in at the bottom. I probably when I tighten them up, it might pull it back up. I might have to unbolt the hinges from the body and move the door just like 1/8 of an inch, but it fits a lot better. It closes a lot better. Oops, there. And that striker needs adjusting, but see, the bottom now is flush and the top is too. So I think we'll tighten up those hinges and see what happens and go from there. I just want the door to fit the body properly, because before, when I was shutting it, you could see this whole inner panel move because it was literally so out of whack it was twisting the door. And I'll show you how these doors, let me just show you. So this heavy steel here is what the hinges bolt to, and I don't know if it shows up in the, let me see if I can get the light in the door there. There. See that really rusted surface in there? That's the door, you know, that's where the door frame bolts to the hinge, and you can see where it ends right there. That's all heavy steel, and the body welds to that heavy steel. You can see the joint right here, and it's folded around over the heavy steel over here. This rust repair that you see, or this stuff here that you see, where those deep pits are, that's the heavy steel. That's got to be, you know, it's pretty thick gauge steel. That's this part of the steel. It says 4621 on this panel stamping, but that's, you know, where you get the strength of the door. That's where, if you had all your power windows and locks, where the wiring harness would go through. But yeah, so that's all structure. All this is structure, and then the skin's just, you know, folded over this part of the structure here. So that's, I'm not worried about this. You know, I'll clean it and paint it, and but it's not going to rot through. But I just wanted to kind of show that. And when I was closing the door previously, let me get the light back out of here. You could literally see this moving from the twisting, from it not lining up. The striker seems to be lined up pretty decent. It's the door that wasn't lined up. Now I'm taking the striker and the latch out to paint. There isn't anything more that you know, you open the door of a car and you see all the jambs nicely painted, and then the latch assembly is painted, and the striker is painted, and that just doesn't look right. And so I'm going to take the latch out to paint, and I'll clean the latch all up and re-lubricate it. I'll take the striker out. I took those rubber bumpers off. I'll take these off. I'll probably just mask this. I don't know if I want to take that off. We'll see if I can get new rivets, maybe. But yeah, that's a much better. The striker could come out just maybe a 32nd of an inch, and I think that would make that fit pretty darn good. It looks pretty good right there. That's about as best as it's gonna get. Now I'm gonna tighten up the hinge, and all tightened up and fitting pretty darn good. I'll have to adjust the striker just a tick because it just latches a little too far, but if I hold the push button in, I can hold the door exactly where it should be. I tweaked it just a bit more just to make sure, you know, I can get adjusted. I think once the weather stripping will tend to push it out just a little. I think once the weather stripping's on there, that door is going to look magnificent. I think the fit's going to be absolutely perfect. I pushed the bottom in a little bit more, And I mean, I don't know if you can see on the bolt how much that door moved. Just a fuzz. I mean, you can probably see it on that one the best by the rust on the top. But yeah, it was just a fuzz that that thing moved. Maybe it doesn't take much movement here to make a lot of movement back there. So just a little is all you need to do. That's, you know, the secret with adjusting panels is a minor little bit of movement at a time. And just check it and just kind of horse around with it. You can get them pretty good. All right, so I think that's good enough. I'm going to start making some cardboard templates so I can make the sheet metal pieces. And I'll get them tacked in. I think I'll just get it all tacked together while it's on the car. And that way I don't have to take it on and off a bunch of times, plus my lack of space. I think tomorrow these are going to get masked. And the next day they're going to get primed. And then I'll give them a sanding out, blocking out. And then after that's done, I'll seal them and paint them. I just haphazardly set the fender in place just to get it out of my way while I work on, you know, I had no room here and I want to get my welder out. So I thought I'd just set the fender in place and you can see how much nicer that looks with green in there. And now you're not going to see any of that in there because I couldn't even see the heater motor when the hood hinge was on there, so you'll only see a little bit right in there, but it'll look much better than rust or primer or whatever. Anyway, it looks nice in there. And I just kind of stood this one up. I think tomorrow I'll mask them off so I can start working on priming the exterior, same with the hood. You know, it's going to be a bit of work, but I'm going to show you where I'm at right now on the door. So the first thing I do is make a template out of cardboard, then I make it out of metal, and I clamp it. But the reason why I only made it that far is the door has a joint right here. This is one panel and this is another panel, and I'm going to make it so it looks like it originally did with the two panels. It had a little opening right there originally, right here. So I'm gonna, did I show that in the camera? But anyway, I'm gonna tack that in place and then I'm gonna remove that and cut out all the nastiness there. After I make a pattern, I'll make a pattern first, and then I'll cut all the nastiness out. And then I'll get that piece tacked in, and then I'll make the outer skin, and once that fits, then I'll weld the inner up good, and then I'll tack the outer on and make sure it still fits good, and then I'll weld it up, and then I'll tackle that end of the door. I got the repair panel tacked in. I think I'll take the door off to weld it up solid so I can weld it from underneath and grind the welds out really nice and pretty, but I'm going to get my straight edge and make sure that's all correct, the full length of the door, and then I'm going to make the outer repair panel and tack that on. So I made the outer skin like templates out of cardboard and bent them all up to where they fit. I use my brake to even bend the cardboard so I get nice straight bends on it, and it fits. Those fit really nice. So I trace them onto sheet metal. Yeah, I need to sand the surface rust off my sheet metal there. And then I'll cut them out and get them all fit and tacked. Alright, this front patch is welded on. I gotta get in there and just a few little areas where the metal, the door didn't warp, but the sheet metal warped a little bit. I tacked in or welded in. And it needs a little bumping there and a little bumping out there. And I'll do that when I take the door off the car. I don't know, I might just, it's not that bad, I might just put filler on it, but now I'm going to start making the patch for there, and then I'm going to take the door off and patch that inner bottom there and weld this spot up right here with the door off the car. And but that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. That's going to finish off nicely. Hammer this out when I take the door off the car and just tack it in a few spots at edge that I bent over. But yeah, it still needs a little working, but like I say, I take the door off, it'll make it easier. I just wanted to get it welded on, make sure that this lined up with the rocker panel and the gap was right between here, the full length of the door, and that this gap was all even. So it appears to be pretty good, so I think that I'm going to call that good. So this piece is ready to weld on. It fits really nice. A little bit of a gap there, which will make it a little harder to weld, but we'll get it in there. And but my concern was this gap along the bottom of the door with the door closed, so it'd be the same, the full length, and the gap here. So everything's good, so I think I'm going to tack that in place, see how it looks, and then weld it up. I have it bent over some of the way, but like I say, I'll take the door off to bend it over the rest of the way with the body hammer and dolly. I got the rear part of the driver's door fixed. It's I don't know, I thought that was a hole in the weld, but I guess it's not. But I'm going to take the door off and I'll finish the welds and bump and use filler or whatever is necessary once I I have the door off. It'll just make life easier. But I got the gap all good. Everything looks good. I'll finish the underside when the door's off too, and that bit up there that where the wing window was is fatigued. I'll pull the door off to finish the the welds up on the underneath, and a couple little spots I need to touch up with the welder, and it'll be easier to do that with the door off. But I got the all the gaps and everything right, and it's even all the full length of the door with the rocker panel, and that was my main concern, just getting it so it all looks straight and even on the bottom. So now I can take it off and finish the underside and grind it out and start strip the paint off of it, I think, before I do any filler, and we'll go get the door done. And I think tomorrow I'm going to start masking these off and get them ready to prime, maybe this weekend. Prime this side and get them ready to paint up so the fenders will be done. Get that door done. I'll get the other door done. We'll tear into the rear quarter panels. I want to thank Rick Nitz for sending me these. Thank you. This light was kind of crazy there, but yeah, that's a sticker for the convertible top for the mechanism. So thank you you sent me a whole bunch of these. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to call it a day. Sorry if I repeated myself. I did make this video over a couple of days. And if you like the video, though, hit the like button. It definitely helps. Gets the videos more views and I make more money. And if you like my channel and want to see this car done up, subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.